After trashing Donald Trump for his evil America First stance, Joe Biden assembled his brain trust and came up with something far better: America First. Here's Joe from today's Times. Quote, "I want to make sure we're going to fight like hell by investing in America First. I'm not going to enter any new trade agreement with anybody until we have made major investments here at home and in our workers." Wow, I'm old enough to remember when Joe felt differently.
America First has made America alone under the Trump administration. Our alliances are in jeopardy. We're more isolated in the world than we've ever been. Our allies are our goat alone. America First has made America alone. President Trump has changed the landscape. It's become America First, which meant America alone.
Yep. I also remember the day after the travel ban and America First idea when Biden tweeted this: "We need to lead the way with science, not Donald Trump's record of hysteria, xenophobia, and fear-mongering." Then what does Joe do? He backs the travel ban 3 months late. So who's leading the way, Joe? But we get it. If Trump did it, it's evil, until Joe slowly realizes it's not and then steals it. Yeah, he doesn't just lift speeches. He'll take the travel ban, the pro-fracking policy, the vaccines, those tariffs on China. And also, Joe's preaching unity now, a Trump rallying cry after Joe himself branded half of America racist. And now it's America First. Joe suffers from the "we hate Trump but love his ideas" disorder. You'll see more of it. The Middle East peace plans, higher wages for the working class, defending law and order. Joe will see what Trump's done and think, I can't do better. And he's right. So Joe's first term might in fact be Trump's second. And everything the press condemned the orange Godzilla for will become magically awesome under mighty Joe Biden. Joe should invent a slogan for this. How about "Make America Great Again"? It has a nice ring to it. So this is my theory, Jesse. This is going to be, if it happens and Joe ends up being inaugurated, it's just going to be Trump 2 without the tweets.
I like it. I like it. He's good at stealing things, Gutfeld.
Yes.
Slogans, elections, all that stuff. I'm just kidding, Juan.
Thank you.
He also plagiarized his Build Back Better.
Right.
He took that from the United Nations. Who knew they had anything worth stealing? I'm going to be honest. If he steals this, I'm good with it.
Me too.
And I am going to treat Joe like I treated Trump. Fair and balanced. When he does something good for the country, I'm going to applaud him. And when he does something detrimental, I'm going to savagely attack him. and people will marvel about how fair I cover Joe Biden.
There you go.
And if they call me a hypocrite if I did something with Trump that I didn't do with Biden, I will just wiggle my way out of it with some reasonable explanation. But in all seriousness, this Made in America thing that he's got on his website, which I looked at today, it sounds exactly like Trump's plan. It sounds great.
Yeah.
They're going to reinvest in manufacturing. They're not going to do these new lopsided trade deals. They're going to buy America first, all that stuff. So let's see what happens.
Juan, what are you going to do if he does something that Trump did? Are you going to actually say that's terrible, or are you going to suddenly like it?
I think that's great. Because, that's what I was going to make Jesse's point, that if you guys are really saying, oh, this is terrible, wait a minute, you liked what Trump was doing, so maybe you should like what Biden's doing.
But he should accept that.
No, but in fact, I thought you confused things. Clearly, what you heard from Biden was Biden's talking about military alliances, our involvement in NATO, climate deals, the Asia Pac, all that. Clearly, Trump pulled back and let the rest of the world and our allies let them.
Well, that was part of America First.
But so my point is, look,
America?
My point is, Biden won the election, Trump lost. The American people rejected Trump, and that's the bottom line here. And if you really want to think about it, I would say that, if you really think about America First, I think it was Trump who didn't follow through, because we saw billions in contracts go overseas during the Trump administration.
Oh, we saw a lot of manufacturing jobs come back to the United States,
not enough.
where they left.
Not enough.
And not only that, Juan, we became a net oil exporter
exactly.
under the
We
Trump
lost
administration.
manufacturing
And one of the first things he says he's going to address when he rattles off in this New York Times interview, how he's going to review President Trump's policies, is energy. So maybe that's an area where he's going to make some unwanted changes. When you saw the American worker and the American consumer greatly benefit from that energy independence.
I think that what you have to factor in there is the environment. And I think lots of people are. And in fact, also,
Environment's great.
also,
Our
also
emissions,
innovation.
our emissions per capita in this country are the lowest they've been since 1950. Just broadly speaking, they're the lowest they've been since the early 90s. You know, when you don't put America first, when you rejoin the Paris Accord, which puts us, it hurts America and the United States, and it actually lets China, the biggest CO2 emitter, kick 10 years down the road before they have to do anything. You know what doesn't put America first? Raising corporate taxes. Because if you raise corporate taxes in this country, which Joe Biden's promised to do, above where the taxes are in China, guess what that encourages those corporations to do? Move those jobs overseas or build factories overseas because there's a lower tax rate there. They can move their headquarters over there. And you know how you really screw rural Americans who Joe Biden was talking about? You raise their gasoline prices, you raise their electricity prices, and you take away their jobs in the energy sector. I just want Joe Biden to say China virus. If he's going to borrow, you know what, from President Trump, say China plague, because that's why 271,000 Americans are dead. It's why a million and a half people around the world are dead. It's because that virus came from China and they lied about it and they unleashed a pandemic on the world. And he's been blaming Trump. Shame on him.
I hate it when she doesn't arrive geared up for the show. All right.
What?
She came to play. I think she's going to beat me up in the break, and I will probably enjoy it.